light. Sorry. So I'm working on the General because it never gets enough love. See these springs? Here's what we're doing. The General wasn't shifting quite right. Hold on. The General wasn't shifting right. It's kind of sloppy, and I thought it was the shifter, but it's not. I opened up the old transmission that came with the old engine, and there's a thing in there called a, I don't know, rooster comb or something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna open this up and find out if it's the same thing. But basically, it's there's a spring in there that's either gone bad or the whole car's ruined, and I'm gonna throw it away. I'll show you. Well, I'll show you something first. I don't know if you can see. There's a little thing on here the shifter connects to up here, and it goes into all the gears. But right here, it's just doesn't go. You can when I was driving it, you could totally find drive for a second, whatever. But there's like, it's sloppy. Like right here between drive first and second. Park, no problem. Reverse, no problem. Neutral, right there. I can just move this back and forth, and it should be going click, click, click every time. So I open up the old one, and there's like a ball that lets this thing go click, 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 click. And I'm betting you that spring in here is bad, or it could be really bad, and that will suck. But I suppose I could take this transmission out and put the old one on if I had to. But I don't want to do that. Throw it at people. Already got it. You get a little violent when you get old. Alright? So let's watch. How much is this stuff a quart? $10 a quart, I think. Super expensive crap. And I don't have the right size, so hopefully these pliers will be fine and not gouge it. Oh, I hate doing this. Is this clean? Yes. Whole reason I went to AutoZone to get this stupid pan, so I can reuse this oil if I have to. And we're gonna drain it. Good news is that there's a drain plug at all. A lot of them don't have drain plugs, so you just have to unscrew the sides, and then it just gets everywhere. And this stuff ruins your clothes and smells up the garage. It's just not good. Alright, here we go. This will be a satisfying thing, maybe one of those voice things, PMR, I forget what it's called. And the General's going to take a leak. Wouldn't it be funny if there were no fluid? That would suck. They'd have that leaking problem a while back. That could have precipitated this where it got hot. Who knows? Ready? Oh, not quite. There it comes. Plop. It smells fine. I don't see any metal. Do people just drop their drain plug back in? Plop. It's viscous, which is what it should be, right? I'll drop the pan. Probably should while I was at AutoZone. Got a filter, so I'm gonna go back and get a filter because, you know, you should. This is a 7-quart pan, and it's getting pretty full. I know this transmission has an extra deep pan on purpose because it's fancy pan. Fancy pants? Fancy pants, yeah. But last time or several times before, I dropped a lot of oil on the floor, and it went everywhere, and still can smell it. Alright, let's start taking these off. There's one, Mississippi. 2, Mississippi. You know the olden days when you were a kid and you had to take these off with a ratchet, or if you're like me, a butter knife and a crescent wrench? This is way easier. Way easier. I know we used to like take one side off and then kind of dip the pan to the side because you didn't have a drain plug. Did I really put the drain plug in there? That was dumb. I gotta fish it out. Alright. But good news is it doesn't look like there's any metal shavings at all that I can see so far. That's gonna be a pain even just to put it back into the transmission. I need like a bottle or something to put it in. Oh! Did I miss? Where'd it go? You can see the car does leak a little bit of oil from where I can never find. Don't lose these spacers or these bolts. I'm not good at keeping track of bolts, which I should be. But if I put them all in one place, they usually are just fine. Isn't this exciting? I really don't want to take this apart. All right. So of course it spilled everywhere. We're not surprised. This screw, this bolt, was in the pan, so that can't be good. So I'm going to take off this filter, and then I'll take off the valve body, and then I want to look at this thing and see why it's not catching. I can see it looks like it might be knocked off. Can't remember, but we'll find out here. So the transmission filter is just these 3 screws and their flathead. And like I said, this one was out. In fact, I should probably tighten it. I don't know why, but it was in the pan. A lot of vibration, I guess. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to tear the valve body apart to make it work. One screwy. And I'm gonna change this filter while I'm in here. Although it looks pretty clean. I mean, how many miles does this car have on it since I've done it? Maybe at most a couple thousand. And of course it's gonna drip everywhere. I'm ready. Go ahead, transmission, you butt face. Transmission stuff is messy work, tell you that. I mean, I even prepared for it, and still it's like, we're gonna dump it everywhere on you. Again, I didn't find any shavings anywhere, which was wonderful. I'm gonna keep this one close, just in case I need it. But I don't think I'll need it. Okay. So we want to put it in either park or neutral, I think. Let's see. That's park. And then there's reverse. And when you can see in here, because this thing, I don't know if you guys can see up there. Anyway, right under here, under your sensor, when you're in reverse, it like goes right on the top of it and lets that open up. So then that is that park, or is that first, second, third? That way's park. So there's park. Park is all the way back. That's what I thought. And then reverse, then neutral, then drive, then second, then first. So you can see it's trying to do it, but when you're like right here, it's just sloppy right there for some reason. And I don't know if it's a spring or what. So I'm gonna take these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bolts out, and then this will drop down. But I need to put it in neutral, I believe, or park. One of them. Park, reverse, neutral. I believe. Are you 7/16? Well, yes, you are. Okay, good. Again, doing this. Let me go answer the phone. Hold on. So, like I said, the transmission was once you're in gear, it's fine. So I thought it was this thing. I think it's called the rooster comb. And this little ball that fell out, and this spring, they go in here. Honestly, I don't know how it fell out because there's a little pin. So hopefully this is not ruined right here. Find out in a minute. But this is called the valve body. I am not a transmission dude, but I just happen to know these things. So somehow I got to get this spring and that little ball back in there and stay in there. And then put it all together and then continue with my bath in transmission fluid. Ew. So we're working on the general and the part here with the rooster comb and the ball. I've got that ball back in. Now I've got to change the seal that's under here that I got from Napa. It's part number 1-3308, and I got an E-clip that'll go on that. And hopefully that'll be fine. So it's a mess. It smells like transmission fluid in here. My house is starting to smell like it. It's not good. Alright, here it is, put back together. Make sure you have this little rod right here in this before you put it back together. Because you've got to hold the ball inside there, you see it, with your finger or screwdriver, baby vice grips, whatever. And it has a spring, and this is actually my spare one. The other one flew, and I could not find it. But now, when this is pulled, this goes click, 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 and it rides on that ball, and this E-clip holds it all together, and that's what messed with mine. Either the E-clip was never there, or it evaporated into thin air. It's just lucky that I had a spare transmission to look at. So, there it is. Now let's put it back in. Here it is. It's gonna go up in there. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, let's see if I can get through this without saying any bad words. Should be all good and back together now. This little rod, if you can see me, let me turn it. There's a little rod on here. It goes back down into the transmission. That's the it's called the park rod, actually. And then your shifter unit goes up through there. I think you want to have it in neutral. Park, or I don't know. Whatever it's not in now, because it's not lighting up.
We went on a spin up the canyon. It was a great day.